Right now at Patio Place at Ski Haus, you'll find an incredible selection of in-stock outdoor furniture, dining sets, and umbrellas, plus end-of-season savings on many of this year's most popular collections. Whether you're hosting Labor Day, gathering around the fire pit on cool evenings, or simply relaxing with your morning coffee and taking in the views, now is the perfect time to upgrade your outdoor living space and save. Shop online to explore the selection and then stop in to test it, feel it, and get advice from the pros. Your dream backyard starts here. All orders are placed in-store. Visit Patio Place at Ski Haus and make the most of the rest of summer. Stop by Salem, Woburn, or Framingham and head to skihaus.com. That's SKIHAUS.com to check store hours and get exact locations. Welcome to Season 6 of the Ski Moms podcast. This year, we're saying yes to new adventures, new experiences, and a whole lot more fun. Because skiing shouldn't be that serious. It's all about making memories. Thanks for listening, and let's get started. Sarah and I recently were out on the mountain, not skiing, but golfing. The two of us got together for a Vermont golf getaway, and we want to share some of the highlights with you. Enjoy. I've never had an iced coffee before. I feel like I'm on drugs.
It was wild. You are wild.
So much caffeine in like one delicious serving.
I don't drink iced coffee. It's too hard for me.
It's too hard? Because it's too watery?
No,
it's like too strong of a drug?
Yes, that's what I mean.
So Sarah, we're 3 episodes in and this is the first time anybody's heard your voice. They're probably like, she's quit.
No. I just been very busy with my other job.
Yeah. And I do think we should explain to people. So your previous job had much more flexibility to record. So you're going to be like a celebrity guest star this season.
Yes, I'll join as much as I can. I do want to.
But who's going to rein me in? I mean, I'm very worried.
And check the facts.
It's going to be very fast and loose with the facts. We're going to focus on feelings this season, I think, because there's no control over facts. We're in our golf era, which I love. So we're going to talk about the similarities to weave it all back together, because we are nothing if we're not master storytellers, that we find similarities between golf and skiing. We think that there is a commonality, though we are also very aware that, with littles, it may be not always the easiest thing to do, but we want to encourage people to consider it as another way to play, especially in the warm weather months. And we were able to combine being in the mountains at ski areas with golf on a recent trip. So we want to share some of that with you today. I want to know, I don't even know your golf story. I don't even know how you got into it. I played with my dad as a kid for about 3 years. It was right before I could drive, and I was a captive audience. So Dad would take me to the driving range, and then we would play. And that was like 13 to 16. And then I played a little bit with first husband, and then took, honestly, 25 years off, I think.
Yeah, I don't even remember. I think I started golfing right after college. I think just like locally around my area of Connecticut. And then I remember when I started dating my husband, he lived in Atlanta. And
First and only husband.
First and only so far. So we would golf in around Atlanta a lot. There's a lot of nice golf courses. And then I remember for work, I started golfing at some more like Torrey Pines and some really famous places out in California for work. I got to golf over the years. And then I do think like with little kids, there's definitely a period of time where it's really hard to golf. We did see a guy golfing, pushing a baby stroller the other day. We'll mention that. It was very impressive, but not easy to do. And it's such a big time commitment, not dissimilar than skiing, that it's hard to do, I think, when you have little ones. So I think a lot of us take a break for a bit until our kids can join us again. And now we all golf as a family, belong to a club here that we love. And we even did for I think it was one of our wedding anniversaries, maybe our 20th, we did a golf trip to Scotland, which was awesome.
That's amazing. We are waiting for snow to start falling, and we have a variety of things. I mean, hiking is great. I won't say it's actually playful in a way. Hiking can be quite strenuous, and sometimes you're walking like in a line on narrow trails, or you're catching your breath. Sometimes there are scenic views, which are wonderful to take in. But what do you think it is about golfing that is a similar vibe to skiing?
You're outside, you're with friends, it's social. There's usually food or drink at the end, our favorite part, après-golf. And I think that's like really what it's all about. I mean, I think that there's a lot of things, but I would say on the negative side, I think it can be intimidating. I think if you've never done it, it can be intimidating. There's gear, there's rules, and it's not something you can just I definitely think skiing's harder in that aspect, but I think the similarity is that it's not always the most inviting environment for a beginner to say, I just want to try this. It's not the easiest thing to do. I mean, you can take lessons, of course, just like with skiing.
Yeah, I will also say it's gear intensive. That
Mhm.
is aspect of it is similar to skiing, similar to my skiing, that I'm just, one pair of skis away from being faster. I'm still looking for that perfect fairway club that's gonna, get me 150 yards. Our chairlift chats are so reminiscent of our golf cart chats that I think it's that side by side experiencing nature. It loosens up a part of your brain that I think you can achieve when you're indoors.
Yeah, and you're doing something hard. You're doing something that you're never going to be perfect at, and just trying to get better, right? Whether it's the skiing or the golfing. It's like every day we're just trying something else. Maybe it's a new club, maybe it's a new outfit.
I was just gonna say that I'm there for the new outfits. We combined both of our passions in a recent trip. Killington has an incredible pass called the 365 Pass. Killington is in Vermont. It's a big draw from Boston, New York. It's, I think, Vermont's most famous mountain. And so this 365 Pass, they're usually open from October to May. So that's a lot of skiing. But then they have incredible downhill mountain biking trails and a golf course. So this pass gets you I was checking it, it's unlimited golf, Sarah, as well as unlimited mountain biking, not so much for us. And the ski pass, it's expensive. It's about $1,800 for an adult. That includes a base icon pass. You can get the full icon pass for an extra 1,600 or extra 600, but what a value.
Yeah, if you're in that area, and I don't know if this exists at other mountains, but that's incredible. So we played at the Killington mountain course for one afternoon. We played 18 holes. It was the most perfect day of the entire summer. It was like 75 degrees, sunny, little breeze, and that course was stunning.
I
Challenging, stunning.
Almost every hole had a view
Yes.
of the mountain, which was
Yes.
absolutely spectacular.
Yeah.
And it's a stone's it's a wedge from the Killington Grand Hotel. We walked across the
Right.
parking lot to with our golf clubs on our back to play, which was genius. So you don't have to repark so you could use the adventure park, you could take a hike, you could go for a swim, and then just trot along the sidewalk.
Well, I actually saw people driving their golf carts over to the Killington Grand, which we didn't know you could do. They are GPS enabled, so they only let you go so far, but people were driving over to the Killington Grand, getting their bags or dropping their bags off, their golf bags, and driving back. So we walked, but I mean, it was only a few hundred yards. But it was steep, and there was a point where Nicole was driving the golf cart and we started to drift, as they say, and sideways down some loose stone, which was the first time I've ever done that in a golf cart.
'Cause it was so steep.
It was so steep, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's a longer course. They give the women a break. Sarah can drive, I don't know, 300 yards off the tee, seemingly, always in the fairway. I don't think she lost a golf ball in the 2 rounds that we played. She is a serious golf shark, so beware if she tries to bet money with you. Very beautiful greens. The fairways were in excellent condition. There's a little bit of water, not much. I mean, most of the hazards from that were just trees if you're playing. There were fewer tighter things. And then I think we played 16 and a half holes. Sarah and I are not known for playing a full 18 because it takes a really long time. And I swing so many times that it's exhausting for me. And so but we wanted to see the full course. We did drive the full course in our cart, and 18 is a stunning hole. I think that was one of the prettiest holes. And we also didn't get to use the clubhouse restaurant is not open on Monday and Tuesday. We've heard really good things about it, but it wasn't open when we were there.
Yeah, it was an adorable clubhouse, and they have a little shop, and they had really cute golf clothes and hats and visors and all the goodies. But yeah, we didn't get to see the golf course, but also I mean the restaurant in there, but I think if I think about where it's positioned, I bet you also have a beautiful view from that restaurant.
Bought lunch at a bakery nearby called Sun Up Bakery. Great curry chicken salad. We took that on the course with us. It was excellent. They have beautiful baked goods. They have great handcrafted coffees. And then we had an amazing meal in Killington. We want to give a shout out to the Killington Distillery. That was an upside surprise. You could walk to it from the Killington Grand. We ended up driving because we were not quite sure how far it was. We sat outside and they had handcrafted cocktails. I had this beautiful, it was a gin-based cocktail with some herbs in it. Absolutely delicious. And we were so hungry from being outside all day that we devoured a crab dip. And then the Brussels sprouts were really the highlight.
Yeah, on a skewer. I mean, I feel like we always try to get Brussels sprouts anytime we're eating together. But these were the first time I think we've had them on a skewer, and they had a little sauce on them, and they were just delicious. But did you mean to skip the other activities that we did that day?
No, absolutely not. I went right to
So,
food because it's so
yeah.
important to us.
Well, the reason we only did 16 and a half holes was because we had to get to our massages and our maple sugar scrub at the spa at the Killington Grand, which we didn't want to be rushed for that.
It was an excellent treatment. My skin did feel amazing for a number of days. I will point out that Killington, I know they're doing their best to break this reputation of being supremely masculine, but it is not. There's nothing soft about this mountain or the golf course or the experience. The Grand is in a beautiful location. The building is quite large and it looks perfectly placed at Killington, but there is nothing sort of elegant or refined about it. Has a great pool, a great fitness center. The outdoor pool area is lovely with gorgeous views of the base area, but there's nothing soft about it whatsoever. So if you're expecting a spa experience with a beautiful relaxation room, this is not that. The staff there is terrific. They definitely know what they're doing, and that was fantastic. But this is a hard charging place, which leads to the next thing. We left the massage and then flung ourselves down the mountain on the mountain coaster and this thing called the Soaring Eagle, which are part of the adventure park. So maybe you can describe that. Oh, which also, by the way, is included in Killington 365.
It is? Okay, I wasn't sure of that. So just there's a little right behind the Killington Grand, you just go over a little bridge. It's really beautiful. There's kids fishing in this little pond there, and there's a whole adventure area. So there's kids on doing the rock climbing. There is like bounce house kind of thing. There's something called the Screaming Eagle, which we did, where you get pulled up
It's
almost like
called
this
the
zip
Soaring
line.
Eagle.
Oh, I keep calling it the Screaming Eagle. Okay.
We
The Soaring
scream.
Eagle. It's almost a giant zip line that you shoot up going backwards. You're seated side by side with only one other person. There's Nicole and I side by side. You get shot up backwards, almost like a slingshot, and then they release you down this Soaring Eagle. And that was definitely fun. That was pretty scary, I thought. I mean, it was fun. I'm glad we did it, but I think once was enough for us. And we did the mountain coaster. You get tickets. There was actually another very good deal. I think you could do the whole day if it was something like $70, which I think that was for adults. So I think kids was even less. We just bought a few individual tickets because we knew we just wanted to do the mountain coaster and the Soaring Eagle. We saw people zip lining right over our heads because after we did that, we had to have a glass of wine, and we just watched everyone playing. There were little kids on mountain bikes. There was definitely also like a mountain bike camp, I think, going on, or programming going on. A lot of kids on mountain bikes, just everyone literally zipping over our head, kids bouncing, kids on bikes. people fishing, everyone just having a great time. And there was this little gazebo where you can sit outside and take it all in and have a drink and a snack. And that was really cute too, like a little glass gazebo there.
You cannot get an Aperol Spritz there, though, which
No.
room to grow in our performance evaluation of the adventure zone. It was beer heavy, light on the
Yes.
girly drinks, which is pretty much the theme of Killington.
Yes.
In general. And we were also able to ride the K1 gondola on weekends. I think it's Thursday through Sunday, but check ahead before you get on that gondola, head up there. And so the K1 gondola takes you to the highest point. I did fact check this. It's the highest lift in Vermont. So that takes you to the top, and it's a very short hike, and you can look out all through the valley. Absolutely stunning. Again, we had a perfect day, light breeze. You could hike down, you could hike up, you could hike up and gondola down. You can gondola up and hike down. We gondolaed both ways and just did the little mini hike because we were a little crunched for time. But a lot of adventure in one small area of Vermont, which is terrific. And we think for families, what a value play to go to Killington, stay at the Killington Grand. Most of the places have little kitchens in them, so you could prepare a couple of your meals. Oh, we did have a great dinner at Preston's, which is the restaurant in the Killington Grand. They're not open every day of the week. So again, you need to do a little bit of calculation about when you're going to eat out and when you're going to be at home.
And we also got to watch the World Cup finals at the bar there at Preston's, which they had nice big TVs, and we had some wine and watched Shakira. Was that who we watched? Who Nicole said was 60-something years old, which
49,
was
poor Shakira.
Which I did fact check right there, because I was like, that is not a 60-something-year-old woman. I don't care what Nicole thinks. We were fact checking this. 49, not 60-something. Yeah.
I think it's a good girlfriend's getaway. You know what? It doesn't have cute places that you can go shopping easily. There's a few restaurants that you can walk to, but it is definitely an adventure junkie, or a family that loves adventure, or a couple that loves adventure, or friends that love adventure. Killington is your spot. But is it, cute and quaint? No, it is not. But that is why we had part 2 of our getaway, where we went to Woodstock, Vermont, and the two couldn't be more different.
Yeah, it was a beautiful drive. Or was it about an hour? About an hour drive.
It was half an hour.
Oh, half an hour. And winding, beautiful roads. And we stopped early to have coffee and breakfast at, is it called Montverde?
Montverde, yeah.
Montverde coffee shop there. And we had these beautiful avocado toasts and coffee to gear up before we did our second day of golf of 18 holes again, which is a lot of golf, 2 days in a row for us. We needed to be well fueled and fed. And the town of Woodstock is definitely my favorite town in Vermont. It is just stunning. It is like the most quintessential. Now it is the land of adorable shops, little bookstores, little kitchen stores. It would be a great place to just, shop for Christmas gifts, things like that. I bet it's beautiful around Christmas. But it is just this stunning, very walkable little town, which also has one of our other favorite places, the Woodstock Inn. But before we got there, we went to the was it called Woodstock Country Club?
Yep.
Which is a public golf course, open to the public, and 18 holes as well. Very different in the sense that it was very flat, but a lot of water you had to get over. The whole course kind of zigzags over, back and forth over a river. There was a ton of water, right, in this course that we had to get over, or try to get over. I think Nicole lost a few balls.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we have to work on, Nicole needs a coach, a mental coach for her golf, because there was one time when she was trying to get over, this was hard. It was a river and then a pond.
Yep.
You had to get over. She was really worried about the pond, but went into the river before she even got to the pond. If that gives you any idea on how things were going for her with the water features. But yeah, you really had to face your nemesis there, because there was a lot of water. They had an adorable clubhouse, nicer carts, more plush carts.
A nicer
than
clubhouse, I would
Yes.
say. That shop was adorable. I didn't have enough time to shop there, but they had a really nice selection of women's clothing there. And it's also 1,300 yards shorter than Killington for women. So as the Woodstock Golf Course had 4 par 3s for 18, the Killington had 2. So think about 1,200 shorter yards. That's basically like 3 fewer holes of golf. So for
And it
us,
felt
it's
it.
the perfect amount of golf. I mean, we played 18 in 3 hours.
Yes. Yeah, we moved along, and it was flat. It was definitely it was a much kinder course, I think.
Yeah.
There was a lot of work going on because it was Tuesday morning.
Yeah, we started at 8:30. Yep.
Every mower was going. There were guys in the woods with weed whackers. I'm sure on a day when that work is not going on, it's quite serene. But when we got there, because of the day of the week, it's probably just when they do that work, there was a lot of maintenance going on all around us. But again, it was this beautiful day, and the course was, yeah, definitely kinder and gentler than Killington.
And to be clear, they weren't doing maintenance on road work. It was mowers. They were, mowing the
Mowers.
fairway. They were taking care of the rough. So it was all golf maintenance when we were there. But we did, there's nothing like having 3 guys standing watching you hit your approach shot to really hack away at your confidence. So, they were judging. I know they were.
Yeah. Well, some of them would turn off the mowers actually if
Of
you
course,
were
they would.
hitting from
Then they were
nearby.
all sitting there waiting.
Waiting. But I don't think they're evaluating our golf swings. I think they're just waiting for them to be able to continue their job. I can be pretty sure of that.
Okay. And
It
again,
might have felt that way to you. But
the clubhouse was closed Monday and Tuesday when we happened to be there, but they had an adorable women's locker room it is a true country club, so you can get a membership there. And we changed there, and they had a lending library. There were a couple cute chairs there where you could read. I love the birdie wall. They had this little wall. So if you got a birdie on one of the holes, you would put a tag on this little tree with your name and the date that you got it, and they awarded prizes for that. And you could congratulate. There's always a golfer named Peggy. Peggy had, I think she had the most tags on the tree.
yeah, I think we saw Peggy a few times.
Yeah. There's always a Carol. There's always a Peggy, for sure, with a sensible haircut.
And a visor.
And a visor, for sure. And then we went, and I think maybe it was our favorite meal of the trip. We had lunch at the Woodstock Inn. So the Woodstock Inn is not even a mile away from the Woodstock Country Club. The inn offers golf packages. They offer great getaways for couples, for families. I absolutely love this inn, and we had a terrific lunch. Maybe you can give some highlights from that.
Yeah, well, it's the inn itself is just adorable. We had to do a little work, so there's all these different libraries and lounges and beautiful places to sit. There's beautiful gardens, but was it called the Red Rooster? Or yeah.
Yeah,
So that was the restaurant in there that we ate at. I imagine there's probably some other restaurants in the inn as well, but it's really pretty, just a beautiful restaurant with a great menu. And we had these amazing BLTs. We both got the same thing. Oh, we started with the soup. Was that a
tomato bisque remember with the crunchy basil? They had sort of air dried some basil, air fried, I don't know, but crunchy basil on top of it. And we were hungry.
Yeah. And these were some serious BLTs. I think they also had avocado and cheese on them. So not the traditional.
It was bacon jam. So how sometimes when you have bacon and it crumbles and then you're not getting the right amount of bacon to tomato flavor in your bite? So this bacon jam really made sure that the bacon was evenly distributed amongst the tomato and lettuce. And let me tell you, genius innovation in the world of BLTs.
And I think it was on Red Hen Bakery.
Sourdough, yep.
Sourdough, which is also a Vermont institution that's not to be missed. Some of the best bread probably ever, right? So
and it was
perfect.
It was a local cheese. They're definitely a farm-to-table restaurant. And we just absolutely... And then we met a friend we were sitting on the rocking chairs on the deck, and we were chatting with our friend who lives locally. And we just can't say enough nice things about the inn and Woodstock in general. love it in all seasons because they turn the golf course into Nordic skiing in the winter. So you can, on a very flat surface, it's a great beginner place to Nordic ski. There are more advanced trails that go up into the hills. It is a fantastic place to get sort of a clinic and learn, very kind and gentle and not far. So if you're staying at the Woodstock Inn, you can go experience this very easily. Planning your next mountain holiday? Skip the crowded platforms and check out Ski Mom Family Rentals, a trusted space to find family-friendly homes in ski towns across North America. And if you're a homeowner, it's a smart way to get your property in front of like-minded ski families without the big fees. Whether you're booking your next getaway or want more visibility and bookings for your home, visit skimomfamilyrentals.com and make your mountain time matter.
Yeah, it really is like the most idyllic, I think, Vermont town. I think it's just perfect. Oh, there's covered bridges, of course. There's little swimming holes with people dipping their toes in and people hiking. You see people with their big packs, that are just passing through. I mean, it's just, I think, the, quintessential postcard of all the best of Vermont.
And Billings Farm is a historical site and museum close by, and they'll show you the farming practices back in the day. I went there once and they had a quilt exhibit that was absolutely stunning. And then they had a modern day quilt competition. So there's still quilters going strong. And then there's a lot of pottery. Farmhouse pottery is based in Woodstock. So you can go actually take a pottery class. You can shop professional pottery. And then not too far away from Woodstock is Simon Pierce. And I've seen the glass blowing there. It is amazing. So the studio downstairs, you can usually see the artists blowing glass.
Yeah, and they have a great restaurant there as well. So you can watch them blow glass, and they're making, vases and candlesticks, and just it is so cool to see them doing it in real time. And then upstairs, there's a beautiful shop, of course, where you can buy all the items. And then there's also a great restaurant in there too, where you're looking out at another covered bridge with a river right next to you. It's a really beautiful spot for lunch. It's a fun place to meet a friend for lunch for sure.
And while everything wasn't open restaurant-wise, I loved the midweek golf because I felt like there were not foursomes breathing down our neck. On Saturdays, golf courses can be a little bit more intense. People are trying to get their rounds in and people take it a little more seriously. That is not me. I sometimes I'll hit 2 off the tee. Sometimes I want to redo. And, we're not playing for scores or for cash. We're playing for fun. And I do think playing midweek cuts some of that pressure off of, somebody right on your heels off of the tee. How do you feel about midweek golf, Sarah?
No, yeah, I love it. I think that, it is nice to not have people playing up right behind you where you do feel any kind of pressure, whether it's that you just want to settle and you just feel like you could take your time. Or like you said, maybe you had a breakfast ball off the tee and you want to take another one, then, you're able to do that when there's no one behind you for sure. And I think it makes it less pressure and a lot more enjoyable. And obviously you have a lot more options usually for just tee times in general. And you can play faster because you're not also behind a number of foursomes getting backed up, which happens a lot on the weekends.
And some holes, for instance, on Killington were just not for me. I think we were staring down a par 5. It was either number 16 or 17. And I said, I think I'm out of swing, Sarah. I'm sorry. And so we just carried on. And there was no one in front of us. So playing midweek golf, it was not a big deal to just say,
Right.
That hole's not for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of them we just weren't feeling, right?
And it was interesting when we played at Killington, they sent a photographer around with us, not because our swings are exceptional, but they did notice they had very few images of women playing golf, which I think is just indicative of where we are in that particular sport and in the mountains, that women are often forgotten about.
Not too dissimilar than skiing as well.
Yeah. I still haven't seen those professional pictures. We just have ours. And I do want to give a shout out. I had the cutest outfit from a ski brand called Shop Jord. We had Jordan on the podcast. She launched a brand out of Stowe that makes ski wear. Sarah and I wore it all winter. I had a zippy one piece and it was red with a very shiny red vest. And Sarah, what you call like an ice blue? Would you call
Yeah,
that color?
it's like a light blue. I think it was called ice blue. And I just got the navy blue shiny vest to go with yours.
Oh, I love that. And she got into golf clothing and I was wearing my matching outfit. I think it's a coral. I don't know what they would call it, but it's great. It fits true to size. It was the perfect length of golf shirt. So with my, big follow through, you weren't seeing any like belly on the follow through, but it also wasn't too long and you don't tuck it in. It just sits perfectly over the golf.
It was adorable.
Skirt. And highly recommend. And they had navy was one of the colorways. And then white, I can't keep white clean, so not for me, but I did.
And there's a green. That would be very Vermont. Yeah.
Very
But the
fun.
coral looked great on you with your tan. It was a perfect color on you.
So shout out. So another way that we're bringing our ski and golf worlds together, but I thought it was a huge success. We are all for girls' getaways anywhere, but go to the mountains and play some golf. You don't have to be great, as evidenced by my golf swing.
Yeah, I think it's just a really fun thing to do. It's a really fun way to spend time together outside playing.
And we both have, since our kids are on their way to adulthood, very fun thing to do with teens, teen boys especially, if you're looking for something like mothers and sons to bond or, family bonding. It's a great alternative to skiing that you can do in the summer because doing something often loosens up the jawline and boys start talking more and you can get more out of them. So I highly recommend that either going to the driving range or taking them on a couple-day trip can really be a great way to bond. I would think Killington with a teenage or tween-age boy or a girl, if you've got, kids who really like to be active and out there, would be an absolute home run for a couple days and pretty economical.
I mean, I think it was pretty perfect. I think it would be a great option for an easy few-day getaway for a family.
And we're looking at a couple fall options as well to do a fall trip because Sarah and I are now officially empty nesters.
Little tear.
So we're still with you all who are in the trenches with little kids, and we will be tapping into stories to help you throughout the season. We are really focusing on the fun because I cannot focus on the facts this season. So I have to take a new trajectory with who we're bringing on and how we are talking to them because it cannot be fact-based. And I did a post and I said, maybe it's the last season. I don't know, but I got a lot of negative feedback about last season. So Sarah, people want us even if we are light on the facts.
Okay. That's good to know. I like the feedback.
Yeah, it's the feedback. All right. Well, go enjoy your day. Thank you for hopping on with me. We're actually talking on a Sunday, which is a little unusual for the two of us. And I will see you on the golf course very soon.
On Thursday for our tournament.
Sparkle and Glam, Glitz and Glam. What's
Yeah.
the name of it?
Sparkle and Glitz.
Okay. Photos coming.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed this fun episode. We'll try to get Sarah back on here very soon. But in the meantime, know that we are working hard to get the best conversations for season 6. And we're so glad you're here with us along for the ride. Please feel free to share this episode with someone that you want to golf with this summer or fall. And thanks for being a part of the community. Hey, Ski Moms, we hope you enjoyed today's episode and got some great tips for your next family ski adventure. If you had as much fun listening as we did making this episode, we'd love for you to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on our latest episodes. And don't forget to rate and review us. Your feedback helps us bring you more of the content you love and helps other ski moms find our podcast. Plus, we love hearing from you. So whether you're on the slopes or just dreaming of your next snowy getaway, stay connected with us. Follow us on social media, share your favorite episodes with your friends, and let's keep this awesome community growing. Are you subscribed to the Ski Mom on Substack? If you're new to Substack, think of it as a newsletter that delivers my best ski stories, destination advice, gear recommendations, and trip planning tips directly to your inbox, so you never have to rely on social media to find them. Want even more? Paid subscribers can listen to the Ski Moms Fun podcast ad-free and unlock exclusive content, including insider travel guides, packing lists, and special recommendations. It's a wonderful way to support our work and help us keep bringing more fun, adventure, and community to women who ski and ride. Head to skimom.substack.com to subscribe. Join for free or upgrade for all the premium perks. That's skimom.substack.com.